Well, he's going to sit with you tonight, right? Matthew is sitting with you. Action.
Live.
You too. We're live. Yeah, that's that music coming. Play that funky music. Yes, it's Manic Monday. It's Manic Monday. It's Manic Monday, and I've had some manic stuff going on. I wonder what I planted in here that's growing. You ever just be so surprised, like, I got a blue flower, look. Oh, no, it's not. I can't see. Where's my glasses? I'm seeing flowers. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Here they are. I've seen cat litter that I thought was just cocaine. Yeah, and I have lonely nights that I could not explain. All right, so we are here live, and I'm so happy for that.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that I have all of my teeth in today, because we had a special day the other day where I'm going to start advertising for Dr. Roth that smiles change lives, because now I've got to get teeth over here and get them over here, but we're getting that done. My name is Sunda Kronquist. I'm your host for this lovely madhouse that we have of comedy, and we do so much here. We do so much. We're always looking at the door, thinking people are coming. Then they come through that way. Located right between Santa Monica and Beverly Hills, you have a chance to do everything you need to do here. You need to get that podcast done. Why? Because we don't have anything to put on social media. You guys come to me and say, you know what? I don't even have social media. Well, I'm not going to be the one to do it, but we're going to have somebody here that's going to help you do social media. If you want to do a podcast, if you have an acting situation where you need to read with someone, you need a reader with a live taping, then we have the Film Actors Cafe under the direction of Aaron McIntyre, the Right Club with Dustin Chafin, yeah. Right, and all of your your IG needs with Billy Ramirez, but most importantly, your comedy concierge is Samantha Linderman.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what I don't. Like, she'll say, you have a doctor's appointment. I bit my tongue last week, all right? And you know what? I told somebody Jewish that thought I bit it on tongue. I know. You had to be there. I did go to the deli today for lunch, and it was about 180 for deli. And that's what my niece says. It's so funny, because I come from a rainbow family. Red, yellow, black, white, and brown. It's really not like that. I think it's just black and white. But she's definitely acclimated to her Uncle Mark, so she has deli. And she says, when did deli get so expensive? This is the black niece. When did deli get so expensive? Oh, my God, when did Viagra work? All right. Viagra's really something. They don't have it for women, though. Diamonds work. You want to see me get it up? I'll show you. So I have some changes in scheduling due to dental issues and other issues, but this is great. So I'm not going to be performing this Thursday with the... where the hell is he going? No, I'm not going to be performing. I'm going to be performing on the 28th.
Okay.
So the 28th of August at the Comedy Store. At the Comedy Store, yes. And so that'll be great, because I'll have my teeth, and the time will be at 8 o'clock. And the Comedy Store is exciting because it's the alma mater show, I guess you would say. They're using alumni. I'm sorry, it's the alumni show for those of whom were passed by Mitzi Shore. So you've got to be dead if you were passed by Mitzi Shore. And so I'm like the last comic standing. I do wonder. Everybody's saying who's going to go on? Then the bets are who's going to die before the show. Because we're sick. We're sick people. You wait till you get further in this business. It's terrible. It really is. I mean, you go to the Christmas parties, people are impersonating Bob Saget. They're impersonating oh my God, wait, what are they going to do to me? I did have a female impersonator come on my TV show once, and it was a Jewish guy. But if I looked like that, I'd have a real job. You know, the boobs and the whole nine. Welcome, Matthew. How you doing, Matthew? We're going to hear something from you. We have somebody that's new to the family here, and I got you to come out here some way from Riverside. Yeah. He's representing Riverside. Who knows? You might have a little boot camp over there going on, and you just don't know what you're getting into, but that's okay. Samantha will fix that. She'll make you, yeah, she will. She'll absolutely fix that. She's going to fix that. I will tell you, we have been through some things together, but as of late, I think it's me and your mother that are experiencing more problems. We can't get spoons anymore in the restaurants. Come on in. Hey, I'm loving it. Oh, my goodness. Bon, who was it? Bon, who was it?
What's his name? Yeah. Simon LeBon.
Thank you.
James.
I'm thinking bonbons.
I thought you meant, what's his name?
Who?
The latest Bond guy.
Oh, Bond. You meant Bond. You mean oh my God, you guys have to watch. You have to watch Alfred Hitchcock. I called Samantha just to tell her she looked like one of these women. I mean, really though. I mean, she's such one of those women. This woman had on this dress with a boa that was attached here and to her sleeves, and she's getting ready to poison her husband. And she's just so smiling, and like all they do on Alfred Hitchcock is they have insurance scams. They poison their spouses. They poison their grandparents. It's amazing. My kid actually asked about her trust account, and me and my husband laughed so hard. Trust? I don't trust you. Are you kidding me? A trust account? What did we laugh? They were not laughing. They don't have a sense of humor, by the way. I don't know what happened to kids. They don't have a sense of humor. They don't, right? They can make fun of us and we can't make fun of them. It's a crazy experience. But I have to tell you what I've been doing. Absolutely nothing. No, I'm lying. I came here, I celebrated July 4th. I had a red, white, and blue bathing suit, and I did not put it on. I went to a barbecue, and then I brought him here. I said, why don't you come here? Why not? This is a place for people to come that don't know what they're doing yet, because you will know eventually. And I'm so proud of Jack Shaw. Follow him on Hi Jack Shaw. He's one of the people from here, and he's doing a tour. He's doing a tour now with Tony Hinchcliffe. I know. You know, like you just don't know. Just because the place is beautiful and fancy doesn't mean that we don't have heart. You know, a lot of people don't know. I'm just humble. I just leave it this way. Is that the cops for me, Sam, for real?
There's a lot of them right now.
Are they coming here? Oh, you ran in, right? Oh my God, look at you, you look so handsome. But you know what, I had my hair back and this guy's like, there's something different about you. It was an Italian restaurant, he goes, there's something different about your face, so you look so different. What is it, what is it? And I said, I don't have my teeth in on the side, that's what it is. Were out. But I put them in for because it's a temporary, and I put it back just to do the audition. Now I can't get it out, so I'm leaving it. Because it'll come out in a very inopportune time. When I'm kissing America's sweetheart. Let's hear it from him, the one and only Mark Zaffron. Come on up to the stage for a minute. I know you're sitting way back. You guys that can't see, oh, there's so much space. Backwards and forth. I love those shoes. I have to borrow them. Oh, my God. Don't you dare fall. All right. I know the only. You wouldn't fall.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't talk about the dentist in front of me.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of sore points, all right. This is the thing about marriage. Why is it that men send their daughters to be married so the husbands can pay for their teeth? You should check your wife's teeth before you get married, like a horse. Because you never know what you're going to end up with. This has been $250,000. Minimum. I don't even keep track anymore. It reached a point where I told the dentist, you're going to pay me. It could be because otherwise, you see, this dentist, and he could be here listening, all right, has 2 black marks against him with me. The first black mark is what he cost me. The second black mark is that his wife's friends with my brother's wife. Well, I mean, with all due respect, this is not the nicest person on earth, you know. Are you going to sue Debbie? Anyhow, you've done it before. You were the force behind it. All right? You all know that Sundar is one of the few comics in America that got sued for defamation by my mother. But it was actually my sister and my brother-in-law. You know, they decided that they were insulted. How could you be insulted? This is the thing about defamation. I won't go into the case. Shut your mouth. All right? Trump can go ahead and sue everybody for defamation. He doesn't give a shit. All right? He enjoys it. It's fun. It's a sport. All right? But if you, normal people, have somebody say something about you, nobody knows who you are. Don't bother, because then they're all going to know. And you don't want them to all know your business. I've been in a black family over 30 years. No, all right? You learn to mind your business. You know, Ms. Doyle, I had a teacher in 4th grade, Ms. Doyle. Crazy woman. Her choice in life was a nun or a teacher. Her sister, and her brother got murdered in their home.
Oh my God.
In my parents' neighborhood, which was, you know, at that time all Orthodox Jews by then. But who the hell broke into the house and killed the Doyles? Had to be one of the kids from 4th grade. Because in fourth grade, Miss Doyle had a big thing. It was either Miss Doyle or Mrs. Miller. You can't distinguish these elementary school teachers, but they stick in your head. If you think about elementary school, your elementary school teacher will live in your head rent-free.
Oh.
There was Mrs. Boguslav, there was Miller, all right? But anyhow, we won't discuss Lucia Landers. I'll get to her later. Anyhow, they used to put this big thing up where you were having a test, MYOB. Mind your own business. Because everybody was cheating. But me, I was the one they were cheating off of. What do you expect there? You know? This guy, I'm disappointed. As soon as the Beach Boys die, he cuts his hair. He was a Brian Wilson fanboy. You know, sandals, surfer clothes, running around with no clothes. Brian Wilson, right? You know? Brian Wilson was the single cause of the Manson family disaster. You know that, right?
Yes.
It was all because of Brian Wilson. He sent his manager over there to check out Manson, didn't realize they were checking out a freaking lunatic.
Yeah.
All right? And it was a friend of ours, father, that was over there, too. He's lucky he didn't get chopped up. They went to the wrong house, by the way.
No, right house.
The right house, the wrong residence. Because they thought that Doris Day's son was living there. And he was somehow involved. You see, yeah, that's right. You got to remember something about L.A. L.A. runs on nepotism. Nepotism is the fuel of L.A. All right? Now, you know, Nepo babes they're like vermin here. All right? And they all go to the same school, Crossroads. Yeah, you read their bios. You ever go to and it says, well, attended Crossroads School and 1 year of Fresno State. All right? Then you know it's a Nepo babe. All right? Typical. I mean, look at them. Are they talented or not? Think if you look at a celebrity's kid, you have to say to yourself, are they talented? Is it the mother? Is it the father? Or is it the grandfather? I mean, you never know who's who. But in this town, you don't get a job unless you know somebody. Or other things. But Harvey Weinstein kind of took care of that for the next, 3 years. I give him 3 years maximum before they go right back to the same old thing. Nothing's ever new in this world. You think about that. So should we discuss my new bête noire? Thank God for Zoran Mamdavi. I mean, honestly, it used to be that Hunter Biden provided the comic relief in this world, and Joe Biden. Now we got the Zoran. Makes me think of what's his name? His sister was a friend of mine. Stiller. You think of Ben Stiller in playing the model? Yeah. That's Zoran. Oh. Them friggin' teeth. This guy looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Think about it. And he's going to say, I'm like Trump. See, that's what Trump looks at his opponents and sees all these little flaws in them. I mean, how could you not laugh at Kamala Harris? Even her name. Think about it. Kamala Harris. And the problem with these people is that they're ethnically and socially confused. Zoran Mandavi, it turns out, can't decide whether he's an Indian, Ugandan, an African American, or just a plain old stupid communist. He can't tell. I mean, he's ethnically confused. And what's crazy is that somebody hacked into Columbia Universities. They got your application, by the way, there. Yours, too. And yours. They got your application. They know everything about you, or everything you lied about. I mean, how many parents have said to their kids, how much African blood do you think we have? Put down their African American. I had a partner once who was doing this whole test to find out whether or not there was any Indian blood in her children. And I said to her, but you're Jewish. Where is the Indian blood coming from? He said, well, I said, you didn't even marry a non-Jew. None of you got Indian blood. I said, which tribe from Africa, which tribe you going to be from? All right? The Hanukkah tribe. I mean, think about it. So when you get down to it, my kids are mixed, Sunda's mixed. She never bothered to put it down on her application. All right, she ended up at Seton Hall. Yeah, Catholic pirates.
Yeah.
The best pirates were Jews, by the way. Just to let you all know, Henrique, all right, Cohn, Moses Cohn, big Caribbean pirates. All those guys you saw in the swashbucklers, Errol Flynn, he had a circumcision. Believe me, Captain Blood was Jewish. Anyhow, the bottom line on all this frivolity, okay, is when you get down to it, you have to be sure about who you are. So this kid is so confused and programmed. He's the perfect metaphor for Gen Z. His father's a stone cold commie. Has trained. You can't come to America as an immigrant. Go work at Columbia because they want you as long as you hate the country. All right? Yeah, that's on the application to be a professor at Columbia. Do you hate America? Do you believe that America is a racially divided, violent, colonialist state? So here I am. Not that everybody says that I talk about things they don't understand, but here I am reading an op-ed by some African guy. Well, at least he had an African name, and then he says he was born here. But he launched into this whole routine how America was found is a violent colonialist state. Here's the bottom line. They were in the way. No offense. This is not a colonialist state. There's no colony. Nobody colonized America. They developed it. Nobody stole land in America. It was empty. All right? And just because these people didn't believe in capitalism doesn't mean that we can't cheat them. And besides which, the original cheats were Dutch. The Dutch were the ones who bought Manhattan Island for $24, didn't even pay it to the same right tribe. So the people who got the $24 out of Peter Stuyvesant didn't own Manhattan. They were just passing through. So so this guy, I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, America is a violent colonialist state. Where did they get this colonialist oppressive bullshit? Because I could go through history and show you where each and every piece of land in the world today isn't occupied by the same people who were born there. Should we go down? Let's start with America. Comanches versus Apaches. The Comanches were very imperialistic. They kicked the shit out of the Apaches and pushed them into the desert, making the Apaches the 14th century equivalent of Hamas. Because the Apaches were stone cold terrorists. Their women would stake. The Comanches were worse, by the way. And the really worst were the Comancheros. Don't mix Comanche with white people. You're only going to end up with terrorists. The Apaches, Comanches, they were stone cold terrorists. Their women would stake you down to an anthill and slice your belly open in a minute. And why? What were they doing? Think about it. What were these poor pioneers doing it? They were trespassing. They were driving their wagon tracks. What part of life were you interfering with? Peyote? No, we joined in. We monetized it for them. All right, think about it. Do you realize who has a good, solid proportion of wealth in America today? And why they're keeping real quiet about all this? It's the Indian tribes. They got a good solid chunk of the oil, a big chunk of the gas, most of the coal, almost all the uranium, and thorium and all the rare earths. They're all on reservations. It's like we gave them the wrong land. The fucking idiots, those white people, thought it was worthless. No, you didn't look under the ground, you schmucks. What did you think? It was just good enough for growing earth? What did you, just so you could put some wheat on it? No, they're sitting on trillions of dollars of wealth. The only problem is they don't share with themselves. Look, you got to be careful in America today, I mean, today we were driving my daughter to the airport, and all of a sudden Aviva gets upset. There's a government van in front of us. I said, smoke the joint. They're not going to bother you. All right. And I look into the government van, and son of a bitch, they're wearing fatigues. I guess it was some National Guard guys, headed to the airport. And Karen Bass is running around, get out of town, get out of town. She actually had the balls, and I think Karen Bass does have balls. She doesn't use them, but she has them, to complain that there were children playing in MacArthur Park. Children don't play in MacArthur Park, all right? The only thing that plays in MacArthur Park are junkies and rats, all right? There are no playgrounds in MacArthur Park. None. You don't bring your children there. So they say, well, ICE was around this neighborhood that's very heavily Spanish, and MS-13. You ever go down by MacArthur Park? Scary. Even when you're in your car, you wish you were in a Humvee. I'm telling you. So, a little cleanup there wouldn't be so bad. All right? It'll just filter back in. Just walk around this neighborhood. The problem isn't immigration. The problem is drugs. That is the bottom line problem with the open borders. Bottom line problem here, it's drugs. All right? We have spent, and this is I'm going to end on, and it's a serious note. There are a couple of Democrats, old ones, dead ones, that cause most of the problems in America today. Two come to mind. Good friends of Aaron's. Jimmy Carter. How many years did he spend in hospice making believe he was dying? All right? And the worst was LBJ. Just because you give them you run by your initials doesn't mean you aren't a stone cold Southern racist. I won't even tell you what he called the Civil Rights Bill. All right? And he is responsible for almost all of the problems we have today, those that Jimmy Carter didn't cause. All right? $1.5 trillion was spent on the Great Society, and black people are still poorer. Explain that. Where'd that money go to? I'll tell you where it went to, because it's the great American scam. We allocate money from Congress, and we say, well, we're not going to do this ourselves. We're going to give it to the states. So they give it to the states in block grants, and then they give it to NGOs. The greatest danger to America are non-governmental organizations. Because what do non-governmental organizations do with the money? Other than what they spend it, and it never reaches the people it's intended to, the surplus goes back to the Democratic Party. This is the problem in America today. No one's going to acknowledge it, but that's it. So $1.5 trillion, right? And $1.5 trillion, and the greatest danger to black people in America is still in existence. Do you know what that is? McDonald's. More black men have been murdered by McDonald's than the police. Think about it. They talk about women's health in this country. How many black women in America don't die from not having an abortion? They die from heart disease. All these are well-known curable illnesses. Where'd the $1.5 trillion go to? I really want to know. I'd like to see the counting. Show me the books. Show me the records. Now, we can talk about James Earl Carter. What was in his mind when he abandoned the Shah and let that bearded MF come into Iran? 49 years. I was in law school when it first happened. 49 years of listening to these people. That's deaf to America. Deaf to Israel. What? How about a positive message? Oh, Aaron's don't like this, right? See, he's giving me the light because I'm hitting on to his buddies there, the Iranians and Hamas. Hamas. So I saw, I'll end with this one because this is funny. All right? I saw this rabbi, claimed to be a rabbi. I'd like to cut off his beard and check his circumcision. He said that the Zionists are the greatest danger. He said, look at them. They're Europeans who came and invented Middle Eastern accents for themselves. He said, look at Netanyahu. Look at his name. All right? He speaks with a Middle Eastern accent. Look at these guys. They all made up Middle Eastern accents. Of course they did. They speak Hebrew. Hebrew's been around for 5,000 years, if not more. All right? There was no Arabic before there was Hebrew. There was no Arabic before there was Aramaic. There were no Middle Easterners before there were Jews, because we killed everybody else off.
Oh, my God. Where can we find you?
In Canaan.
Well, that's called a history lesson.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem, I wouldn't say a problem, it's great. It's a great set. Except, think about this. They don't know who Mondavi is.
The greatest danger.
Do you know who Mondavi is? Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie, yo Donnie. Everybody wants my Donnie.
He's the greatest danger to New York.
Okay, tell him who he is. I'm on medicine and I'm out of my mind. I'm so out. He's running for the mayor of New York.
Democratic primary for mayor.
Thank you. That's what you have to do, and then they'll know who you're talking about. I got so confused because I saw you sitting here and it wasn't you. Let's give it up for Sam's sister who came out tonight. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that to you. You're going to. Oh my God, you look just like your mother right now. When I get her up, your mother's like has that look like, don't you dare, Sunda. Yeah, she is, but not before we bring up the one and only middle-aged muchacho. You asked for him, now you got him. Coming to you in Newark, the one and only Billy Ramirez.
Thank you very much. My name is Billy Ramirez, and is anyone else here? This is a new one, so I need notes. Is anyone else here getting older? Is it just me? So I'm getting older, but I'm not married. I don't have kids. I worked in an office job for 20 years, so I'm fairly well preserved. I'm not breaking down like someone who's been doing hard labor, but even without that mileage and those milestones, I'm still noticing that I'm getting older. Like, for example, like now I've noticed that I'm getting white hairs everywhere. And I've Googled it, and as far as I know, there is a product called Just for Pubes. So I might have to just use the regular stuff when time comes. But I'm noticing I'm getting older in a few other ways. Like, for example, I'm not as airtight as I used to be. Like, for example, if someone were to offer me a toke of the old jazz lettuce, I would probably have to decline, and simply because now when I cough, sometimes I toot. Yeah, and I don't want to, I don't want to get a case of the old toke toots. And worse than tooting while coughing is tooting while sneezing, which that's a new one, because that kind of feels like you just blew out your O-ring. When that happens, it feels like the old turd cutter just took a high-speed photo. And when you got that much air coming out of both ends, it feels like your insides are about to implode, like that Ocean Gate submarine. But I'm also another way I'm realizing I'm getting older is that now I don't care about being a hypocrite about certain things. Yeah, I don't. Like, for example, like I'm anti-war but pro CTE. You know that degenerative brain disease that people get after too many blows to the head? Actually, let me specify. I'm not anti-war completely. Actually, I'd be pro-war if billionaires went. If billionaires went to war, I would have season tickets to war. I would have the all-war TV channel package. I would stay up late watching war highlights on War Center. It's like, whoa, man, is that billionaire about to try using a handmade carbon fiber tank? Like, that's not going to end well. Like, yes, I did just watch that Ocean Gate documentary on Netflix. But regarding CTE, like, for example, I don't want people to get hurt unless they sign up to do so, and they do stupid things, like, which is one of the reasons why I love watching Jackass, and also why I've spent a lot of my time in the last few weeks just watching power slap highlights on YouTube. I don't know if you're familiar with power slap, but power slap is this. It's not a sport; it's more of a activity where two willing people stand and face each other, and then they just slap each other across the face as hard as they can. And as an added bonus, the power slappy cannot flinch or defend themselves. Yeah, and it can be really funny just watching someone get their lights, just get the taste slapped out of their mouth or the consciousness slapped out of their eyes, But I think one of the most entertaining aspects to me about Power Slap is the referees, because yes, Power Slap has referees and officials and supposedly more responsible adults, but sometimes when someone gets power slaps out of consciousness, the referee will still count. It's like 1, 2, 3. Like, if you don't stop convulsing and get up, I might have to stop counting, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, and then again, like, these people signed up. They signed forms to do it, and I'm fine with watching them get, slapped out of their shoes. Let's see, CTE, Power Slam, signed papers. Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. If you told me that you signed up for Power Slap, and I wouldn't feel bad for you. It's like, did you read this? It just says that people can just slap you willy-nilly across the face. It's like, all right, if you're cool with that, I'm cool with it too. But just don't complain to me when, you start whining about how, you can't taste anything, your vision's blurry, you don't remember what street you live on. You're like, you signed up for it. Some people say that, actually, no. Another thing that I like about Power Slap is sometimes when the referee's counting, someone will muster up enough energy to get up and beat the count. But then they start stumbling around like they just took full advantage of bottomless mimosas at brunch. and then they keel over again and reconnect with the ground. I don't know if you're familiar with that wrestler Ric Flair, but sometimes they fall like Ric Flair. Like sometimes he gets smacked, he'll take 3 steps and then immediately keel over. Like I always find that hilarious. Like I said, I find CTE kind of funny, but I've seen comments on these YouTube channels and videos where people think like, oh, well, power slap signals the decline of civilization, and I don't agree with that. I think it signals that civilization's progressing because, like I said, 2 people want to just willingly stand there and get slapped in the face, then we should allow it. And also, I'm just excited to see what power slap expands into. Maybe something like, I don't know, like power shovel to the back of the head. Or the referee will count. It's like, hey, 1, 2, 3. Like, all right, I'm gonna stop counting, but you got to get up before the shovel stops ringing. Or like power kick you down the stairs. It's like, yeah, you're only bleeding out of one ear. Come on, get up. Or maybe something like power piñata. Which I think would be fun because if someone's already willing to try to be part of power piñata, then they might not be that against having candy shoved up their butts to begin with. Anyways, yeah, all right. I'm a little iffy on that ending. We'll figure it out. We'll come up with another thing. All right. So like I mentioned, I'm single. I'm not married. I don't have kids. And I've been single too long. And it's kind of sort of like it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy where I've been just single so long that sometimes when I go on a date, I just find like just any reason to just not continue. Like, oh, you haven't heard of the Brave Little Abacus? You haven't heard of this very specific band that I like? Like, I don't know. Like, and I shouldn't be that picky because I ain't shit. It's like, yeah, I should really embrace any opportunity for romance and, and comfort. But no, I always find something. Like, for example, I recently stopped dating this woman because of who her favorite Ninja Turtle is. Okay? And as a 80s and 90s kid, I love the Ninja Turtles. The Ninja Turtles taught me everything there is to know about life. Like, for example, pizza solves everything. Violence is acceptable as long as you're wearing a headband. Or you just filled out the paperwork, and number 3, rats make good father figures, anyways. But yeah, so I met this woman who not only, well, actually, I didn't know that I could be repulsed by a woman who not only knows about the Ninja Turtles, but also appreciates the Ninja Turtles, until she told me that her favorite Ninja Turtle is Donatello. Donatello, the one with the stick. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Ninja Turtles, there's Leonardo's got these 2 big katanas, these 2 shiny swords, and Raphael's got these these sharp fork things, and then Michelangelo's got the nunchucks, which are always fun, And then Donatello, he's there with something you would use to poke raccoons out of the trash. It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. When it's time to just whoop ass as the Ninja Turtles, there they are, just kicking ass and taking names, like nunchucks flying and sword swinging, and then there you go, you got Donatello in the back, just twirling his bow staff like he's part of the JV color guard at a homecoming football game. It's like, I guess nothing says intimidating like competitive baton twirling, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just, again, it's self-fulfilling prophecy. Maybe I'm just overthinking. But then again, maybe this was her way of signaling to me that maybe she only likes guys with a big old rod. And in which case, it was not going to work out anyway. So, anyways, that's my time for now. My name is Billy Ramirez. You can find me at BillyRamirez.com and on Instagram at middleaged muchacho. Please welcome back to stage our rock, our queen, Sunda Kronquist.
Oh, yes! Rock queen, rock, skate, roll, bounce. Do you guys remember those dances? Somebody just called me, and I know it because someone had sent me an email. I was trying to find it. But you'll learn soon enough, okay? We're going to get you going, but first you have to see the comedy concierge of the evening. Please give it up for the one, the only, the delightful, the insightful, Samantha Linderman.
How we doing tonight, everybody? We good? There's just such a calm energy in here. I'm kidding. Oh my God, Matthew, I'm kidding. Matthew's like, oh my God, help. It's like when I email somebody, I don't know. You have such a beautiful smile. You can't see that smile through email. I don't know, whatever. You're asking yourself, why am I 6'3" tonight? I'm going to Vegas. What? I have to break these in before I break somebody's neck with them in Vegas. My mom gave me great advice today. She said, maybe don't go off with a man that you don't know. And I was like, this is so crazy. I wish you told me this like when I was 16. You know what I mean? It's like I'm 22 and she's like, don't go off with a man you don't know in Vegas. So I'm like, okay, West Hollywood's fine. West Hollywood's great. My sister's here tonight. Oh my God. One time, yay. I was at a show and the videographer went up to my sister and was like, you had a great set. Do you want to buy your tape? And she was like, what? So that was really, really cool. We didn't used to look alike, but my mom would put us in the same outfit. And I feel like should be a graph of like what that looks like in siblings. Maybe it's different with girls. I don't know. But it was like, I loved it because she was a baby and then she was old enough to talk and I hated it. And then now we're back doing it again because we're the same size. We share clothes. So that's really fun. I work with kids. I'm not a teacher, so it's good you didn't clap. But they do call me Miss, which is like very, wow. Like all of a sudden I'm Miss and I'm like, wow. Respect is so crazy. But they call me Miss Sam. It's really cute. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh, okay. So here's the thing. You were talking about kids, mind your own business. When a kid snitches on another kid, I'm not talking about he hit me. Like those are like really important things. When he's like, he just said the H word. He just said the H word. And I'm like, first of all, he's your brother. So are you sure you want to do this? Because the ride home's going to be pretty bad. You know, I don't care that you're 6 and he's 7. Like, he's gonna remember. And second of all, you just said, oh, shit, like loud enough that I heard it across the field. You know what I mean? So I'm like, now, do we really want to get into this? Do we want to get into this? And I said that. I go, you just said the S word. And this other little kid, like shortest, it's like tall, shortest one. And he goes, at least he didn't say the B word. And I go, okay, that's enough. He goes, the B word's bitch. I said, we're going to take a 5-minute break from outside bowling. No! Like, they freaked out at a 5-minute break. And when I was a kid, it was like time out. It was like 15 minutes, like go sit at the no nut allergy table and like really take a time out. But a 5-minute break, and they were screaming, what about 2 minutes? What about 1 minute? Why not 1 minute? This is so boring. I'm so bored. And I was like, it's 4 minutes now after this conversation. And then they played in the dirt, and I was like, maybe they need to take a break more. I haven't seen kids play in dirt even since before I was a kid. No, I was a kid who played in dirt. I was a roly-poly kid. I was a roly-poly kid all the way, like worms and stuff. I would do things not on a dare. Like, I would wait for people to dare me just so I had a reason to do something stupid. Like, at my junior bonfire, I was like, guys, wouldn't it be crazy if I went with my clothes on? Wouldn't that be so freaking crazy in my XL Gildan fucking cotton shirt? Wouldn't that be crazy? And my jeans and my sneakers, wouldn't that be so freaking weird? You guys are smoking weed. Can I have some? Who wants a date? Oh my God. Should I go in the ocean with my clothes on? And I did it, right? And my clothes are weighing me down. I can swim. Like, my clothes are weighing me down. And the lifeguard comes out to get me. And from like 10 feet away, it's giving Baywatch. Like, he has blonde hair. Like, it's like Will Kate. Like, it's just like this surfer dude gets closer. It was not giving surfer dude. It was giving like surfer dude's grandfather. I was like, can you swim? Like, it was a very confusing situation. And he gave me this like thing to hold on to pull me out of the water. And what is it called, Will? Like a boogie board, like a little, yeah, a mini surfboard to like pull me, right? He starts swimming really fast. I drop it. He had to go back and get me. But shit like that was the kind of shit I would do when I was a kid. Or like when my Spanish teacher, she would say, okay, guys, like we're going to do a little class project, go find a friend and partner up and do the project. And like people would get in line and wait to ask her a question. I would wait to be the last one in line. She'd be like, what is it, Samantha? And I would say, you said find a friend, so I'm here. And she was like, don't say that, boundaries. And then one time she said, my husband's funny, but you're funnier. And I was like, what happened to boundaries? Are we getting married? What the heck? What the heck, Miss Garcia? What the heck? There's this kid who only speaks Spanish, and he's so sweet. And like, I feel like everyone in LA like can speak a little Spanish. And anytime I ask this kid a question, all the other kids go, he doesn't speak English. He doesn't speak English. I'm like, neither do you. Neither do you. Say the word soccer. Seriously, you can't. Soccer? I'm like, you can't, none of you can, you're 4 and 5. You're telling me you can speak, write a word down, and I'll tell you if you can speak English. Tell me what a plus sign is, and then we'll talk about English. And I just gaslight them sometimes. I go, if he doesn't speak English, then how are we talking right now? And he's like fully not answering. But he knows how to say ball. He will run after a ball. It's so interesting. It's really fascinating working with kids. They just remind you of like the important things in life. You know, like when some kids get chocolate milk and the other kids don't. And it's like, it's really like, it's very like, I don't want to say representative. I don't want to go down a historical thing like Mark. Well, here's something funny that happened. So it was 4th of July and it was Independence Day and I wanted to waste time. I didn't know what I was going to do with the kids. So I was like, does anybody know what Independence Day is? And they're like, we became independent. And I was like, obviously, like I'm looking for a real answer. And I was like, what country did we become independent from? These are 2nd, 3rd graders, right? And they're thinking, they're like, China? And I was like, no. India, Spain, like it just kept getting further. And I was like, guys, England, like it's England. Like do you really think that 90% of America is Chinese? Like, I don't know. It was like, what do you mean? Like, it was really, really fascinating. They're sweet. They say crazy stuff. It's mostly the bad words right now. And it's hard for me because I think back to when I was a kid and I heard my parents curse all the time. Sarah knows. I mean, first time I heard the C, I'm talking about hard C word. I'm 7 years old, I'm in the car, and my dad's like, you, I'll say bunt, right? We all know what I'm talking about. And he says it to this woman driving, and then he looks at me and he goes, never say that word, especially to a woman. And I was like, okay, I'm confused. But I mean, that's part of growing up. That's really part of growing up. Our family's really fascinating. You know, we went to Cheesecake Factory. Why did we go to Cheesecake Factory? My dad is a carnivore on weight loss shots. Why are we at the Cheesecake Factory? My mom will have a bite of salmon and go, that was so heavy. Like, why are we there? You know? And then we get noodles, like a normal, that is so much cheese. Are you sure you're going to be okay with all that cheese? Or you know what I'm talking about in the bathroom? And I'm like, now we're really getting into the whole Jew IBS thing, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't want to hear it anymore. And then I can't make a fart joke because then he makes a poop, and it's like too much. And the worst question you can ask my family when we're out to eat, are you ready? Horrible. I can't believe they even said this. Outside or inside? Outside or inside? So simple, right? Well, what do you guys think? What do you mean what I think? I don't care. We're just standing there like, and my dad always says outside. And I know that my mom wants inside. It's controlled temperature. There's no external whatever. Oh, outside sounds good. That sounds really nice. We get out there, the sun's on the seat. And like, she won't even sit down. And the server's like, is this okay? And I'm like, yeah, it is. Like the kids at school, I go, we made this choice. The sun's going down. There's a building, whatever. And it was just so crazy. And then my dad has all the menus and is seating us. And I was like, you work at Cheesecake Factory? And he's like, pass me the skinny menu. And I was like, no such thing. Shout out Manjaro. Isn't that so funny? That's the name of the shop. We talked about this, and it sounds like Mange. So, hey, we have classes. We have Matthew here tonight. I'm so happy to meet you, to see you. Sarah's going to come up later. You're gonna see that. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're here. Right Club starting back up. We have Aaron on Tuesdays and Saturdays, acting class. The website's looking fire. Do a little MailChimp inquiry. Do whatever you want to do. And have a good night. Thanks so much.
And where they find you?
And you can find me on Instagram at SamLikeTBH, or here, or maybe even elsewhere also. Okay. So who knows? But don't find me at school. That's really weird.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. All right, miss. Ma'am, miss. Oh, God. Come on. If you're able, let's give it up for Will Cable. Beach baby, give me your hand. I was looking for this phone, and here it is.
It's right here.
I'm so crazy. Thank you, Will.
Wild. Sunda and Samantha, you're wild. Oh, yes, the Beach Boy. And I guess that's what I am. I used to have longer hair, but people call me Beach Boy now that it's short. And I've surfed a lot since I've gotten my hair cut, so I guess that's good. I surfed 4 times in 3 days, and I can't remember the last time I did that. I have kids, so yeah, so it's nice. The older one can drive, so I can sit in the back and drink beer. It's okay, because he learned how to drive this way, except I was in the front seat drinking beer with him. No, I really don't see what the problem is. I'm not driving. I'm an adult, and he's a better driver, or at least in my mind he is. I'm not as tense. When he was learning to drive, because he's a good kid, he'd say to me, Dad, that's an open container. And if we get pulled over, we both get, or actually, I don't even know you get a fine, but I get fined as being for a driver. And I would just say, son, if you get pulled over, by the time you get to the side of the road, it's going to be an empty container, not an open container. Don't you worry. He's a good kid. Little different than me. Straight A student, varsity athlete, such a disappointment. Was into baseball, and he hit the game-winning run in Little League when he was 7. Yeah, in the car afterwards, he said, Dad, you have no idea what it's like to be as good as me. And I said, no, son, I don't, but keep pushing the car. We're almost to the gas station. Yeah, that kid. What are we doing? Just drinking and surfing? I guess he drinks now, but he doesn't drive. I'm getting sick of the lift bills, though. But anyway, he's responsible. Or all of a sudden, it's, I'm going to take my bike tonight. The little bastard never walked anywhere, screened me off for a ride. All of a sudden, I'm going out with my friends, and I'm going to take the bike. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, he into the baseball thing, and he would come home and always just not even pay attention to us, just plow right by us into his room, and he'd slam the door. And sometimes me and the wife would be going out, and I'd say, let's just tell him we're going to go out. So I'd go and knock on the door, and no response. I can hear him in there berating his friends on Xbox, flexing in a mirror. I don't even know what that sounds like, but I could hear it. Whatever a teenage narcissist does. That's what was going on. So my wife and I would just say, screw it, and go out, because he's not even going to notice. So one night, we got to the Hollywood Bowl, and we get out of the car, close the door, and I turn around, and I almost bump into this guy that just whispers, shrooms, Molly doses, pills, ketamine, coke, and she goes, my wife goes, no ketamine and coke for him, but give us everything else. We're parents, we don't get out much. Oh, yeah, so for about $90 later, we're feeling good for a change. And walking along, hear that didgeridoo in the background, that cell phone. Dad, I broke my nose. No, you didn't, not tonight, click, right back in the pocket. No, his nose wasn't broken. Not as much as I cared. I mean, it wasn't. I'd just seen him. And I was seeing Paisleys and unicorns at that moment. So, yeah, we've all been there, right? As a parent of an overachieving son who I let down on a daily basis. But my wife goes, oh, you go into the show, I'll go home and take care of him. And there she is on the ground. And I'm like, honey, you're on the ground. You're not going anywhere. No. That is... My wife's a good wife. She really is. Mark made me think about her. Because, all right, let me back up here. I don't mean to paint a bad picture. She's the most loving, caring, Charles Manson-obsessed person you will ever meet. I mean, I share a bed every night with somebody that's obsessed with ritualistic killings. I mean, love's blind, they say, right? Oh, man. I mean, it's just, the world works wonders. What was she telling me about? I guess the CIA was involved with Manson before he got involved with Brian Wilson and all that. Yeah, because they gave him LSD at the free clinic to give out and did experiments, but that wasn't all the fun. Brian Wilson was involved until he couldn't take the VD because he had to pay for all of their VD treatment, and I was going to say the vet bills, but no, the doctor bills were getting astronomical. Yeah, that. How did we get here? Let's change the subject. My other son. How could I forget about him? I have another son. This one is the left-handed one, the creative one, the always naked one. Yeah, you know, as most teenagers are, right? And I don't mean that I'm a nudist. It's just he forgets to put on clothes sometimes because he'll be in the shower and he'll get an idea. And, you know, he just hear the water shut off. And then as I'm on the couch watching The Real Housewives with my wife, we'll just feel moisture. And I'll look up and there he is, soap out of the hair, just dripping down, dry, unused towel thrown over his shoulder, you know, man parts right there at head level on the couch, saying, "Dad, I had an idea." Now, I'm a modern dad. I drink in the car. And I don't want to stifle his creativity. So I say, "Son, all right, what's going on?" He goes, "I'm going to start a one-way flight or a round-trip flight, LAX to Bali. Going to be a game changer. You know, we like to surf. Southern California has the biggest Indonesian population in the country." I'm just like, "I'll take your word for it, son." And, you know, I normally don't say anything because I want to keep the creativity going, but one time I had to. I bumped into him in his room. We were both naked. I had dried off and de-soaped, and he just came running out sloppy, soapy, and bounced off of me. And I was like, "Adam, you have got to rinse the soap off and dry off when you come out of the shower." And he bumped up and said, "Dad, if you're frying chicken, the best kind is double battered, like they serve on the flight from LAX to Bali." Yeah. Do you want to know why I was naked in the room? I could tell. All right, I know you do. I can tell. They are both 6 feet tall, and they use all their clothes. Don't ask, take my clothes. I don't have any shirts. I don't have any pants, shoes, nothing. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go in their room and take their clothes. Maybe seeing their naked father all bent over will keep them from coming in and getting mine. Not at all. Older one, the good one, takes his mom clothes. They'll come out, cable knit sweater, these felt pants. He was like, "These feel great, Dad. I think I'm going to wear these." I'm like, "Those are your mother's." He's like, "I don't care. They feel good. They're mine." And he looks good in them, even with pumps on. It doesn't matter. That's just kind of the guy, the way the kid is. Oh, man. I guess we have fun with it. You know, what else can we do? We've got a dog. We got it from the no-kill shelter on Free Dog Day. Yeah, for $300. Later, we walked out with a very, very poorly behaved animal. It ate my car. I mean, my entire car. The seat, the springs, the gear shift. And I watched it because you have to make sure, you know, it doesn't get caught in the intestines. Didn't pass it. Didn't see any metal. Said, all right. Dog was fine. I sat on the dog. Very, very comfortable. Part seat now. All right. I'm Will Cable at WILCABLK. You can find me as Evil Tony Hawk on Perry Caravel Live and probably, I don't know, on the street corner.
There you go. All right. Oh, my God. The Brian Wilson. I told you that I met Brian Wilson at the Comedy Store, and he told me I was going to be because you're very funny. And the only one that told me that was one of the Monkees. I love the Monkees. Hey, we're the Monkees. No, you don't know who that is? Well, I'll tell you, there's somebody here who does know who the Monkees is because he probably coached them. Because there's not too many coaches that know how to coach you, not for memorization. Whenever I have an audition, it's a big thing in the whole house. Mark starts screaming, I won't. I can if I wanted to, but I'm a lawyer. And then my daughter says, I'm not going to do it for you because you didn't prepare. And I said, it's just faces. I just have to make faces. And she goes, you're being performative. That's not a real face of a barkeep. Of a bartender. I was a barkeep. And I had to clean a glass. And then I had to say, is this something on TikTok? And then make a comedic face. Deadpan. And she's like, that's performative. But I only say that because I don't teach this class, so I can be relaxed as I bring up this director of another portion of the school that I don't have to stress out over, so I love him dearly. Let's give it up for the one and only Aaron McIntyre. Tell us about them. Oh, you really got your pictures up here.
Yeah, I'm old too. You know, I just started playing the Monkees on a TV station. On a TV station. Anybody who wants to watch, you can watch. It's at betv.org, and I've got I do the programming for them. So.
All right.
I had 3 episodes today with Peter and Mike and Mickey and Davey. Oh my God. It's such a jump back. Yes, I am circumcised, Mark. So I guess, I don't know if that makes me, what does that make me? What does that make me? It's like 364th Jew? Something like that. Huh? Just American? Just American. Okay, well, that's too bad. Looking around, not seeing. There's a little color right here, a little bit of color right over there, but there's a lot of white people in here. Don't like white people. Don't like white people. They're very judgy. I feel like people of color have already judged me, so I'm convicted. I'm good with that. Let's see here. What was I going to talk about tonight? Well, we were talking about kids. So, my kid. She's 27 now. That's one of them. I don't know. Has anybody here done 23andMe or Ancestry? No? Yeah? It's just a way for you to find out like who's in your family, extended family. I found out I have like 5th and 6th cousins that I never knew were there, which is really exciting, right? And then you can also find out like if you have any genetic disorders or diseases and stuff like that. And I found out that I have something. I've got a 40-year-old daughter that I didn't know about until my younger daughter called me up one day and said, hey, Dad, is it possible I have a sister? Because she got the results. And I said, well, yeah, it's possible. It was the 70s. So anything can happen there. Yes, I was born in the mid-1900s. And just an old prospector up here. Yeah, you were saying you were a barkeep. That's Old West. So were you an Old West barkeep? Come over here, barkeep. 45 to 75. Yeah. So my daughter, she's a rock star. She's very cool. And when she was a kid, there were a couple of times where I knew that we were in good shape. That she was going to be able to take care of herself. And it was going to be 5. One time when she was 3. So she was 3, and we were down at the park, and she bumped her back, and I had my head turned. I was talking on the phone. No, I wasn't talking on the phone because we didn't have phones back then. That was too long ago. We had these big bricks that you would carry around. They were like this big, and they were huge bricks, and they had this little tiny thing, and you'd put it up to your head, and in about 15 minutes, your side of your head would start to burn, because you could feel the radiation going into your head. But I was up there. I had my head turned. For some reason, she bumped her back. She starts screaming. She's like, ah, ah, ah. And I'm like, oh, my God, what happened? And I came up. It's okay. It's okay. How you do when you're, you like when a kid falls, you don't want to go, oh, what's wrong? Because then they'll start crying, right? But if you just leave them alone, you just stand there and go, oh, you fell. Big fucking deal. Then after a while, they'll go, oh, I guess I'm not going to get anything out of that one. So, but she's like writhing, and I'm like, oh my God. And so I pick her up, and I'm like, are you okay? No, she's writhing. And I'm like, oh my God. So we didn't have phones, so I have to run back. So I'm running down the street with my daughter, and she's crying. And all of a sudden, she just let out this little whimper that just didn't quite sound right. And so I go, are you faking? And she goes, yeah. That was the first clue that she was going to be just fine. She was going to be just fine. The next one was we were driving down this road coming from our house, and there was this old lady in front of us, and she was going very, very slow, you know, and I have a problem with road rage. But when my daughter was in the car, I never did. Her mother, fucking truck driver. Swear to God, every minute she'd go, oh, fuck that guy, you know, fucking idiot. But I'm very good. And so it's just me and my daughter, and she's back there, and we're driving along, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get upset. I'm just going to drive. It's okay. It's okay. And all of a sudden from the back I hear, oh, come on, lady. That was another one. I knew. It's a strong, powerful woman coming out of there. Right now she's a prison guard at a kiddie prison. Yeah. She takes care of little juvenile delinquents who burn cars and stab each other. She called me one day and said, oh, Dad, guess what? I just got called a cunt for the first time. I was like, I'm so proud of you. So happy. Yeah. The other day I brought up my dad. My dad was he was a war hero. He was in World War II. He was in the Korean War. He was in the Japanese War. And when I was 8, we moved to Japan because he got stationed there. We were in the Air Force. And I say we were in the Air Force. Yeah, we were in the Air Force. I shot down 25. No, I didn't shoot anybody down. But anyway, we were there for like 2 years, and all of a sudden we're about to leave, and my mom comes to me and says, hey, we're going to go on a little trip to see Japan. You know, we've never seen that before. So we're going to go to Nikko, where they make this beautiful pottery, and then we're going to go to this place called Summerland, which is like Disneyland in Japanese. And then we're going to go to where your dad was shot down. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, you know, where your dad was shot down. He was shot down in a lake, and he was taken prisoner of war in World War II. And I'm like, nobody told me this. This would have made me a fucking rock star in school. Am I right? Am I right? And by that time, my whole reputation was fucked, okay? I was persona non grata because at that point I'd fallen out of a second-story window already, and you know, I was mentally challenged, very mentally challenged, and I still am. But I'm medicated now, so I'm happier. Yeah. I'm bipolar, so bipolar is like every 6 months you get really, really happy all the fucking time, and everything is really wonderful. And then the next minute you're on the floor with a blanket over your head screaming for death. Now that just happens every day. So it's a lot easier, you know, when it's only one day. I only got to deal with this for one day. That's fine. I don't have to deal with this for 6 months. It's cool. I don't know why I said that. Where was I going? I was talking about somebody. Oh, my dad. So anyway, so my dad was this really quiet guy. You know, he was very, very, you know, he had an underbite, which I think he developed so that he'd look tougher. You know, he's like, oh, I think I'll stick my jaw and make me look like a bulldog. But he was really quiet. He was very stoic at home. My mother was definitely the one who wore the pants in the family. You know, he was the commander of military bases for 20 years. So he's like, you know, all of these airmen are like under him, and he's, you know. But when he got home, no, that wasn't the way it was. It was the same with everybody else, you know. It's like, Dad, could I have this? What did your mother say? You know, oh, okay, I got to go ask Mom. And, of course, Mom would say no. My favorite thing my mother ever said about my father was one night when we were all sitting around having another argument, which we did every night. I mean, my family we just yelled at each other all the time. It was a constant thing. But we were yelling, and somebody said something about, well, you know, what do you have to say, Dad? And my mom said, your father wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful. Oh! And I was like, that's love. That is true love, because he just went, yeah. Didn't say a word. Still stuck with her. They were married for 73 years. I went out to, 73 fucking years. I know. And I went and took care of her for like 6 months right around the pandemic. And I did a great job because she died. So she wanted that. Anyway, love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Fabulous. And now I'm going to bring up the fabulous. So I got classes Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, drop-in class, acting. Come in, try it out. I've got a new method that nobody else knows about. It's a secret. It's a secret. I'm not going to tell anybody. And then I also teach kids from 10 to 17 on Saturday from 11 to 2. And then we got the Right Club coming up. And we got Karaoke Confidential sometime in the future that we're going to talk about. And we got a show. And then I've got a show on July 24th. I'm making a short film that's going to appear in a thing called Shots. It's a lot of fun. Bunch of 5-minute plays. Couple of 5-minute films. And now I'm done. Thank you very much, everybody. I love you.
That was a great set. That was a great set. I love your mother. Because she likes a lot of butter. Making her debut this evening. Just because you saw one doesn't mean there's not another one. There's always one and more Linderman in the house. Let's introduce her for a minute. Come up for a second. Say hello, Sarah. Give it up for Sarah! Don't let me fall. Don't let me fall.
Oh my God. So, I've never done comedy before, as we all know. I'm hoping it runs in the family. We'll see. Having Sam as a sister, it's definitely something. I would say it's like if like you're on a road trip, right? And Godzilla's kind of approaching you from behind, and she's like, "Hey, Sarah, want to be in a video? Hey, Sarah, want to be in a vlog?" But you're like on your phone playing Minecraft, and you're like, "Ooh, Sam, what's happening here?" That's my life. Having Sam as a sister is definitely something, you know, like I'm trying to be Jewish. I'm trying to live my life, be a good Jew. And I'm at synagogue, as one does, on Shabbat. And I'm in the bathroom. And, of course, Sam, I'm like, "Sam, come with me. Like, I need emotional support." And so she's in the stall next to me, right? She's in the stall next to me. I'm, like, maybe 10 years old. And she's like, "Hey, Sarah, you know how you're peeing right now?" She's like, "That's where babies come from." And I'm like, "Whoa, Sam." Whoa, Sam. And you're like, "Oh, is there anything more I should know?" Like, "I don't think so, but like, I don't know." And she's like, "Hey, Sarah, look at me." She sticks hand under the stall. She's like, "Sarah, this is a penis. This is a vagina." And she goes, "That's what sex is." And I'm like, "Oh, Sam, what a time, what a time. Synagogue, we're supposed to be holy, and I'm here learning about the holy." Yeah, so Sam is definitely a crack up, always. Yeah. You know, I had to unfortunately be away from her for the past few weeks. So unfortunate. So I was recently on a trip to Australia, down under. Yeah. And I was always like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna see kangaroos. I'm gonna see Robert Irwin. I'm gonna see all these hot blonde guys. I get there. I'm like, is this LAX still? Is this a prank? Like, what's happening? Where are the kangaroos? Where are like the hot blonde men? Like, where are we going? I was like, how many times did I tell you, Sam, that it looks like Culver City? Like, oh my God, Sydney, Australia, like that is not the Outback. Still can't do an accent either. But yeah, saw a lot of kangaroos at the zoo. Like, yeah, so that was like crazy. You think like everyone's here for, it was a wildlife conservation trip, right? Like, I'm like, where's the wildlife? Where, like, I see these, like, the most wildlife I saw, these ibis birds. They're like, they look like the spawn of Satan. They come up to you, they're in packs. They're like, what? They're like, these, like, they have these crazy beaks. They're all swarming you with the seagulls too, of course, because, and the pigeons, like, you can't escape them. But they all swarm you. I'm at the zoo. I'm trying to eat my sandwich. And these pigeons, they come up to me with these ibis birds, and they're like this big. They're huge. They're running up to you. They're crazy. I don't even know. Like, that's the extent of wildlife we got. But yeah, like, we visited zoos. The zoos, I would say, like, I would be surprised that there are pigeons there, because, like, what are we in New York again? Like, I'm like, I thought they would have a pigeon exhibit, you know, because that's so, like, exotic for them. But I guess we, like, colonized and brought them over or something. But, like, yeah. I've never done this before. This is kind of fun.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah, we're hanging out. Yeah, but, like, I'm in the science field. I'm a nerd, you know. So comedy, didn't really think I would do this until Sam was like, hey, you want to, like, come here tonight? And I'm like, okay, like, sure. We're here. I've actually never been here either. Sam's been here for, like, 3 years. I've never set foot in this room. Like, wow, talk about hiding your sister. Like, what am I, your, like, long lost child? Like, no. Talk about that. Yeah.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah. I think, like, wow, Sam. Yeah, who knew? Naming your children S names. So much fun. She got, like, the cool, unique name, Sam. And I'm like, I'm stuck, Sarah Ann. Like, I could be from the South. Like, and my dad was like, oh, yeah, it's an Aryan name in case the Nazis try to get you. With the last name Linderman, with this nose, be so serious. Like, they're coming to get me. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do there, but they're like, it's biblical. Biblical in Christian sense too, though. Like, I don't know what are we doing here? Like, what Bible are we trying to make it? But yeah, I think I'm good for tonight, but I love you guys, and it's been great. I'm on Instagram. Don't find me. I have a private account. Don't find me. But I appreciate you guys. Find Sam on Instagram. She's so cool. Sam, like, TVH, like, shout out. I love her. She's so cool, guys. Have a great night.
You see, your parents did it right. My kids say I'm a target. They say, you gave us names and we're targets. And Samantha was like, that's why our father gave us these names. True. Totally opposite. Now, you know who's coming up that's petrified? But he doesn't know it's okay. Matthew, introduce yourself. Come on, give it up for Matthew. Come up here. You're working with us. Oh, my God.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is so cool. I'm so excited to be here. Does this come? You know what? We can leave it. That's okay. I'm from Riverside. My name's Matthew. Yeah, Riverside. You don't have to pretend. It's okay. It's there, and I like it. You know, we talked a lot about family tonight. I think, you know, I come from, like, a weird family. I mean, we would have dogs. It would be a Rottweiler over and over, and they'd name it the same name over and over. Yeah, looking back, I'm like, there's something wrong with that. I don't know. Like, it just seems weird, but let's see. All right, family. Oh, yeah, my sister, rest in peace. She's not dead. We're just in a fight, but yeah, it's tough. She's cool. She's, like, doing a lot of stuff, and we're very different. Like, I love the entertainment, art scene, and she loves the whole, like, scientific, medical stuff, and I'm just like, that's great. I mean, the stuff she has to deal with, she's dealt with people, like, puking on her and, like, the hospital, and I'm like, one time a customer just wanted their order on time, and I got an attitude. So, like, yeah, I speaking of, it was at UCLA. I don't know if anyone knows Bruin Custom Print. We print out stuff for you. Super cool job. You know it? Yeah? Cool. Do you go to UCLA? No, not even. Oh, that's okay. Thank you, though. Thank you. I mean, honestly, it was. Yeah, I mean, I that school's great, but I did not have the best time in undergrad. I'm doing my master's now, which is better because I'm at home all the time. So, I mean, that's fine. It's almost completely virtual, but yeah, I wish I had more material prepared, you guys.
I just wanted to introduce you to the stage.
Thank you. You can find me at Matthew Correll on Instagram. It's Matthew with 1 T, Korel.
All right, there you go. Now watch yourself coming off the stage so you don't fall. So you see that? Was it that hard, everyone? You people who are watching that say, I can't do it. How do you do it? I don't know. It took me 3 years. I paid for my class and didn't show up. I was scared. It's true. But things were happening. They were terrible excuses, but it was true. It was happening. I remember telling Mary Domino, I have to leave. She was running the place. She was the comedy concierge for maybe, listen, you guys get so much. She didn't get lunch. She worked there 5 days a week from 9 to 6 every day without pay. And she became one of the biggest commodities of, I mean, like she got commercials, she got all this stuff through me, which makes no sense. Do you remember when they said if you did a CD-ROM, you were finished? This is before you remember the internet had floppy disks? Anybody? Billy's like, she knows about this? Yeah, because it's old. That's why. So we were the first comedy show on a CD-ROM, and it was like a big deal. But she's like, no, my career is going to be finished if I do that with you. But she just did everything. Oh, my God, she did everything. I got to see you in an Alfred Hitchcock movie, Samantha. Do you like Alfred Hitchcock? No? You know it comes on again.
It comes on again?
Yes. It's like,
they're doing a new.
it's the same one, 22 minutes. But then they have the hour, which I hate because it's a whole hour. But, you know, it's just great to see all these, you know, gay guys in these positions of having to, like, really kiss these women, and they don't want to. The guy from Bewitched, the father's on it. Oh, my God. Yes, Darren, Ed Asner. The guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit's in one of them. I mean, so young. Burt Reynolds with real hair. I mean, I hadn't seen him with real hair. I never met him, though. I don't know what I'm talking about, Burt Reynolds. He's dead. Definitely dead. And, he wasn't gay. He was with, not Dolly Parton. Who was the other blonde one? Lonnie Anderson. There you go. Middle-aged muchacho's got it going on. You know what show I liked a lot? I didn't watch any television because I was either partying outside or partying inside, watching out the window. Alf. And look what happened to Alf. The guy ended up a crackhead, okay? The writer, the star.
Oh, the star did too.
Not Alf, but the guy that, Wilbur, what's his name? The guy that was the owner. The dad that was always catching him eating friggin' cats. Because he came from Melmac. I have an Alf doll.
But Jerry Stahl wrote for Alf.
And wasn't he on something too?
He was a complete junkie.
Oh, but this one they had on crack with his underwear on, with these young black guys. You only get $5,000 for those stories. You know who's making a comeback is let me tell you when I was making it. Making it is when I had the Balloon Boy people, the Heen family. The mother was my editor. Am I wrong, Mark? How good was she? Boom, 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 boom. We used to get everything done. And then just one day, they said there's a kid that got loose in a balloon, and I fell to my knees. I was like, oh my God, it was Falcon. But now they have a reality show. They have a band. You should know about this. Falcon's a drummer. Because the middle-aged muchacho's a drummer in his head. He drums. He's a real drummer. So when he's up here, he's like, and I'm Sheila E. Dun, 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 dun. You do your part. Can you play congas? Yes. Without love, it ain't much. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I want to tell you guys I'm not sick. Let's just go there. You know when they say walking pneumonia and the boogie woogie flu? So I had walking pneumonia and didn't know it, okay? But that part has passed. But I went to accelerate it, which I thought would be fast because it says accelerate and it's urgent care. How urgent was it? I was the only person there for like an hour and a half, making me wait for no reason. All I need is a Z-Pack. So I go there and ask her for a Z-Pack. She's like, I can't give it to you. I'm not a doctor. I was like, can you give me a doctor? So she said, I'll come back. She came back, and I said, is this a quick change? Are you now the doctor? Because this is the same woman. And then she listens to me, and she says, oh, no, you need Robitussin DM. And I'm thinking, direct message? Because I'm smart now. Samantha's got me going. I'm like, DM me. Robitussin me. So I DM'd, and she told me, have you been self-medicating? And I'm like, marijuana or antibiotics? Because I've definitely been doing the antibiotics. And she was like, you can't self-medicate. Because I could tell there was a redness in your throat and in your... I'm like, am I contagious is all I want to know. She says, no, I don't think it's anything. You'll be fine. But can I see a doctor? There's no... So I can't see the doctor. And they made me fill out paperwork on a computer. Okay, just give me the paper. I could write really fast, you know what I mean? Now I got to work. If I could do that, why can't I do my own post? All right, now they want a review. Accelerate it. For an hour and a half I'm there, I'm the only client. They just want to look busy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody was there when I got there, and nobody was there when I was gone. And nothing has changed. So I went to a real doctor today who says to me, and I have this situation going on, he's like, how did you manage? And I don't know. And then I realized I managed because I didn't come in. That's why I managed. On Friday, I didn't come in. Mark had to come in. I was definitely not feeling well. So now I feel like I have an iron lung. Listen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not contagious. Isn't that amazing? All right. If people tell you you're funny, you probably are, but you'll never know until you take it from the page to the stage, and that's my advice. So find us, follow us on all platforms at LA School of Comedy, and you can follow me personally at Sundar Live. You follow me? Well, you better watch it. I'll have you arrested. Thank you, everyone, and good night. Bye, Andy. Bye, Griff. We miss you. Where are you?